Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Millennial Smark. If you want to get directly into the review, timestamps are down in the description box below. This is not wrestling related, but I want to go over some of the events that happened yesterday, because I don't know, man. I just want to talk about this. I gotta express myself somehow. Or I guess this wouldn't have been yesterday. This would have been the day before yesterday, because I'm recording this in the morning time. So, tell me why. My little brother, right? Or I guess my nephew, but my little brother's son, he needed me to drop some money off to him so he can use that for lunch the next day, because he was at work and he didn't have time to give him the money because he was going to be at work overnight. He said he'll give it back to me, right? Didn't have to. He's my nephew. I don't give a shit. But I was on my way of coming back home. So I said to myself, okay, that's cool, man. I'll go stop by Walgreens, take some money off my car, go drop it off to his house, just keep on going, right? Left my wallet home. So I'm like, oh, it's no big deal. It's like what, fucking at that point in time when I was like in the middle of the intersection coming home and shit, it was like probably like 9:48, 9:49, whatever. I'm like, I'm 10 minutes away from Walgreens. They got the little shit where you could tap your phone on it and still take money off. I'm like, I'll just do that. I left my card home, left my money home. No big deal. It's right there. I'll do it that way, right? I get to Walgreens. I shit you not. I got to Walgreens at like 9:57. They close at 10. As I'm walking up to the door, this fucking crackhead lady, one of the workers, she's like closing the gate. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, hey, you close at 10, bro. I get that you probably closing your registers, but I just want to take money off the ATM. She's like, no, papi, no, papi. I mean, no, papi, my ass, it is 9:57. Now it's 9:58. I just want to go to the ATM. And she's still closing the gate in my face. I'm like, hey, lady, you're close. Stop. She's like, no, papi, it's closing time. It's like, that motherfucker, stop. It is 9:50 fucking 8. Open the fucking. And she keeps closing it. And I'm like, okay, you know what? That's fine. I'll go to the Walgreens down the street, right? I'll go to the Walgreens down the street. It's not that big deal. It's like maybe another 10 minutes going down south. I'm driving, right? I shit you not, bro. I shit you the fuck not. Right? I'm waiting at a red light. I'm waiting at a fucking red light. And I just noticed, I happen to look down, I see that YouTube, because I have YouTube Live to watch TV, right? They took $80 off my card to pay for a subscription. That's all the money I had left on that card in particular. My other card is in my wallet, but it's not linked to my phone. I don't have it linked up to my Google Pay account. So I'm like, oh my fuck. And I can't do it like right then and there because I don't know the card numbers off the top of my head in order to link it. So I'm like, okay, so I have to actually drive home now rather than just taking money off my card, dropping it off at the house, and keeping on going straight to my house. And I have to go to my house and then come back up. No, I'm like, fuck. So I go to my house. I go grab my wallet. I come back. Now I'm going to go back to Walgreens. I go back to the Walgreens close to my house. Actually, no, that was CVS I went to, actually. Went to CVS, took the money off my card. Now I got to go drop it off to my cousin, to my brother's house to give it to my nephew. I'm driving over there. It starts to rain. And it's raining pretty fucking heavy, bro. Mind you, it's already like fucking 50 outside, but now it's raining pretty fucking heavy. So I start to slow down because I can't see that well already as is, but now it's raining really, really hard. And my dumb ass decided to take, because I seen the clouds forming, but I didn't think it was gonna rain right then and there. Bro, I decided to take the expressway to go to my brother's house just to make it a lot quicker. Took the expressway, bro. Starts to rain super duper hard. I slow down in the rain, and it's nobody really on the road, at least no one that I can see. I mean, it's a few cars going by, but nobody really driving. It's like at this point in time, like maybe, what, like 10:30, 10:40, whatever. So I slow down, get on the far left side of the lane, right? And I start driving, right? On right there on the fucking shoulder, bro. Right there on the fucking shoulder. I drive slow enough to attract the police. This is all happening within, this is all happening within an hour's time frame. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding. The police pulls me over. He's like, you know you were going super, super slow. I'm like, yeah, it's raining at the moment, officer. I do apologize. He's like, well, you know, I'll give you, he didn't write me a ticket, but it's just the fact that it's like, bro, like I got pulled over by the police. He's like, you know, I was like, yeah, I understand. Thank you for the warning, officer. I dropped the money off and then I come right back home. Bruh, that all happened in 1 hour, bruh. 1 hour. Well, I guess 2 hours because it took me, I didn't get back home until like 11 something that night. That all happened in 2 hours. Just to let you know what kind of day I had like 2 days ago. I hope you guys are enjoying your day because I'm absolutely enjoying the fuck out of mine. Now, to be fair, you know, yesterday I was at work, so it didn't even matter. And today I'm off. And I'm playing Red Dead Redemption again. So, just wanted to tell you that story. Continuing on. Alright, so we have a match that I really want to see coming up next with Sheamus and Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship. I think it's for the Intercontinental Championship. But real quick though, I had no clue. I was looking on social media at the same time while the show was coming on, because for some reason it was speaking Spanish. I put a community post out on there earlier, but they fixed it like not even 2 minutes after I put the post out. That was really fucking weird. I was watching it on YouTube TV. I heard that some people who were watching it on Peacock didn't have any problem, but if you were watching it on normal cable television, that shit was speaking Spanish for like a good 5 minutes. Well, while they were fixing that, I looked on social media real quick. I didn't know Kurt Angle was didn't like the name Perk Angle. Now, I guess in hindsight, it does kind of make sense because, I mean, essentially you are kind of calling him a drug addict. But we were doing it like in an endearing way. Like, when we say to Kurt, you suck, it's not like we really mean you suck. I mean, you're one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Like, when we say you suck, it's supposed to be endearing. But he did say that, he understood that it was all in jest. He just didn't like being reminded of a time where he was going through all his demons and stuff, which is, I guess, it's fine. I mean, Kurt Angle was my third favorite wrestler of all time. So it's fine. My top 3 GOAT wants to be called something differently, then I'm gonna abide by that. Okay, he gets that. I've been watching Kurt Angle for 25 years now. If he wants to be called something different than Perk Angle, then we're gonna call him something different than Perk Angle. I see Peak Angle is trending right now, and I can fuck with that. A GOAT needs to be called something GOAT, so if that's what Kurt wants, then that's what Kurt gets. And that's what y'all motherfuckers finna call him too. Y'all finna call that motherfucker Peak Angle. Because that's what the fuck he is. He's Peak motherfucking Angle. Although I'm gonna miss calling him Perk Angle. But let's talk about this match with Nia Jax and Rhea Ripley. I thought this was way better than the Elimination Chamber match. I thought this match, I can't stress it enough, man. I said it in my, the 2024 retrospective review I did a couple of weeks ago. I said it there, and I'm gonna continue saying it, man. Nia Jax, like, bruh, the first half of her career before her release versus the post aftermath of her coming back to the company, it's like two different competitors. It's two different competitors, though. I've never seen, you guys tell me, maybe Trish Stratus? That's the only person who I can think was so fucking trash when they first started to just that much of an improvement in such a short period of time. I mean, obviously not really a short period when you consider that it's been over a decade, but considering all the other wrestlers, you look at their status and you look at how they come along. There are some wrestlers, even after a decade, they still fucking suck. And we're not just talking about the wrestling aspect. I'm talking about also the promos, all that stuff, man. No wrestler ever actually gets it. I gotta give credit where credit is due. Every time she impresses me more and more and more and more. And Nia Jax, she's actually a good worker now. It's crazy. And this match is just more proof of that, man. Her and Rhea put on a nice match. This was a solid match. Now, I'm not gonna say this was like one of the greatest matches of all time. Fuck no, not even fucking close. But at the same time, though, they went out there, put on a nice match. Cool spots. I like the bonsai drop, or I guess she calls it the Annihilator, on the back while Rhea Ripley was stomach first. I like that. I like how the match started off with the title introductions and Nia sneaking her. The Samoan drop, not even 2 minutes when the bell rung. As a big woman wrestler, she somehow went from one of the worst wrestlers of all time to arguably, if she keeps this up going towards the end of her career, I'm willing to put Nia Jax up there in the top 20 best big professional wrestlers of all time, from an in-ring perspective, of course. Like, maybe not overall, but from a, you know, big wrestler standpoint, Nia's gonna probably end up being in someone's top 20. Probably my top 20 when it's all said and done, if she keeps it up with this momentum and this catalog that she's building up. Not to mention, Nia's not really that bad on the microphone. She gets her point across. She stays getting the correct type of heat. She doesn't pander to the audience. You know, her character is very consistent. I mean, I don't know how you can ever turn her to a babyface. I know they attempted that a couple of years ago. Didn't really work out all too well, in my opinion. So she needs to stay heel forever, because, I mean, that's where her bread and butter is at. And, you know, just kudos to her. Rhea Ripley pulling out a powerbomb on Nia, you know, an electric chair drop on Nia, following that up with the Riptide. I mean, the only thing bad about the match, and it's crazy saying this about Nia, bro, if you would have asked me this like 6 years ago, I would have laughed your ass. I would have laughed directly in your face. But one of my biggest problems with this match is I kind of thought it was a little bit too short. I would have liked to see at least 5 more minutes of this, honestly, but you know, that's just my opinion. I can't believe I'm actually saying that, bruh. It's crazy. I would have actually liked to see this go another 5 more minutes, or at least another 2 more minutes, if for nothing else. The girls went out there and they did their thing. Not like it was the greatest match, not like they absolutely fucking killed it, but it was a solid, competent, get in there, get your shit in. Would have liked to see a little bit more, to be honest with you. Good shit, good shit. Nia Jax obviously lost the match. Apparently she was breaking shit outside the ring, obviously selling the idea that she lost the match. I can hear Pat McAfee off. I thought fucking Rhea was about to get attacked with how Pat was talking, you know, with the whoa, 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 whoa. But in reality, it was just Nia Jax breaking shit outside in the ring. And then they showed fucking Mark Henry, and speaking of Mark, they ended up showing Medusa out there also with the women's champion. She's such a fucking mark, bro. I cannot stress this enough. I fucking hate Alundra Blaze. I mean, as a wrestler, maybe even as a person, she's such a fucking narcissist, dude. She gets on my fucking nerves, dude. Every time I see Alundra Blaze, bro, she's so fucking annoying. But with that being said, though, we got Braun Breaker versus Sheamus. So I'm hoping to see a fucking hard-hitting, smash mouth, bust your motherfucking ass up type of match, bruh. And again, I think this is for the Intercontinental Championship. We're gonna see in a minute. And let's get to that. But again, I expect Rhea Ripley to be a good wrestler. Fucking Nia Jax, though. Every match, man, she's improving more and more and more and more and more. Kudos. Credit where credit is due. Always gotta give credit to people who actually go out of their way to improve. Just good shit on her. Good shit. Alright, here comes Shawn Michaels coming out next. Man, dude, I cannot be the only one. Whenever I look at Shawn Michaels, it's like, I'm getting old. I'm getting old. I'm getting old. I'm getting old. Damn, bruh. But it is what it is, man. You know, Tom, that's the one that's undefeated at WrestleMania. He's undefeated in everything, right? And he's a he, because I claimed him to be a he. But yeah, that Braun Breaker and Shawn Michaels, that Braun Breaker and Sheamus match, that was as you expected it to be. Just 2 big boys going out there beating the dog shit out of each other. You can't ask for more, you can't ask for better, man. Can I say this though about Braun Breaker, bro? I know he's the future in everything, but my God, bro, how far do we have till we get to the actual future? Can the future be tomorrow? He's so good, bro. He's so good. Did you guys see that shit? Because the thing is, like I said, I watch Raw, but there's only so much I can watch live nowadays. Because again, unfortunately, when times happen at the same time when I'm doing my job, especially on Mondays and Tuesdays, it's I can keep it in the background, but I can't keep my eyes on it. You know what I mean? And it's very hard to catch Raw nowadays for me. I really have to be like legitimately done with a certain activity in order to like keep a keen eye on it, which is very far in between. All I can do is put my headphones on, put my phone on the charger, and just listen, you know. And that sometimes I don't even get the opportunity to do that, right? But I don't really catch too many Braun Breaker matches, believe it or not. And when I see him on my television, when I see him on my cell phone, it's always going to be a pleasure. Did you guys see the weight, bro? He's so he legitimately has to be one of the fastest wrestlers I think I've ever seen. He should damn sure get a 10 speed and agility, or well, I guess agility and speed would be 2 different things, right? Agility is how quickly you can actually like do something, right? Versus speed is the actual movement in itself, right? Well, both, because his agility is insane too, but his speed in particular should be at a 10. In WWE 2K25, which by the way have yet to hear news on it yet, his speed should damn sure be a 10. He's so fucking fast. I know he's a former football player, but goddamn, did you see the way he rebounded off the ropes before they did the first spot on the outside of the ring? And then, bruh, that spear to Sheamus when Sheamus tried to jump off the stairs. Just, bro, can the future be tomorrow? Can the future be tomorrow, man? And you got a nice little spot from Sheamus with him lawn darting Braun Breaker over the barricade onto the chair. The office chair before they went directly to commercial break. And they came back, beat the dog shit out of each other some more. Got a unique spot from Sheamus when Braun Breaker was out in the apron and he Celtic crossed him from the apron to the inside of the ring. I thought that was pretty cool. Eventually, though, we did get to the finish. You had a bit of a mishap from Braun Breaker, which maybe I'm tripping. It could be just the shadow. I don't know if it was the color of his tights. Maybe it could have been something else. I'm gonna say taint sweat because, bruh, am I tripping, or did some of those purple patterns look a little bit darker than the other purple patterns on his pants? Like he pissed himself, but I don't know. Again, that could just be outright taint sweat. Maybe when he was outside of the ring, some water spilled on his crotch area. I don't know, but it looked like Buddy pissed himself. But he ended up giving Sheamus kind of a botch, but he recovered a little tiny bit. The little gorilla press slam. It looked like he was trying to do a gorilla press into an Oklahoma Stampede like, Goldberg would do, but instead, because he didn't get a nice grip on Sheamus, he ended up kind of doing like a gorilla press to like a world's strongest slam. Again, he recovered pretty nicely though, but they went back and forth a little bit longer. Got a bro kick from Sheamus, which ended up with Braun Breaker putting his foot on the ropes. I like Jesse Ventura being one of the only color commentators to act like a heel color commentator. He's trying to point out the fact, well, I mean, to be fair, I guess he was actually going, I guess he wasn't really being a heel commentator to a certain degree, because he was kind of, going out of his way to cheer at Sheamus, because Braun Breaker put his foot on the ropes. He was just arguing his ass off. The referee counted 3. You can't see what you can't fucking count. Some bullshit like that. I like that he was enthusiastic and energetic. I would have preferred it if it would have been for the heel. I'm assuming he's playing the heel out there. It's so hard to tell nowadays with WWE, right? But, eventually they went back and forth before Braun Breaker gave Sheamus a hellacious spear. I like his spears. He jumps in the air and then connects with the guys. I like that shit. It looks hard as fuck. Especially him, because he gets a lot of height. He got a lot of height when he jumped and hit the spear on Sheamus when he springboarded off the steps. And it was for the Intercontinental Championship after all, and Braun Breaker did retain the championship belt. Everything about this match went exactly as I expected it to go. Nice, hard-hitting, solid work. Exactly what you expect to see with the Intercontinental Championship for the Intercontinental Championship. Man, you got some more years to go, but man, like I said, tick-tock-ing. We ain't talking about Karrion Kross. The quicker we get to Braun Breaker going after the World Championship, and hopefully Jacob Fatu, but that's just me. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. The quicker we get to greatness. But coming up next, like I said, we got Shawn Michaels moderating this contract signing between Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens, and we still got Braun Strowman and Jacob Fatu, and I think the World Heavyweight Championship match with GUNTHER and Jey Uso is going to be the main event for tonight. So hopefully we get an angle out of that. Don't let us just go off the air with nothing, okay? Come on. This show's already better than the last Saturday night's main event in my opinion, but please go off the air with an angle, an actual angle. No bullshit fucking, we're going to use our video cameras to record things that are happening, and when the show goes out there, put it on the fucking show, motherfucker. Damn, Dory Funk. Ooh, they're showing Ted DiBiase and Dory Funk Jr. Who's this? Oh, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Oh, he had a cancer recovery. Is he skinny? Yeah, nah. He still looks like Hacksaw. Still got that crackhead look. Got that meth addict look. Got that Uncle for Red Dead Redemption look. Yes, I'm very obsessed with Red Dead right now. All right, let's continue on, folks. No more Hall of Famers. Maybe later on tonight. Maybe throughout the show. Shawn Michaels moderating this title contract. All right, let's get it. All right, so it's not like I necessarily hated this segment, right? I thought at the very least, if for nothing else, it accomplished the job that it needed to be done. It's like, bro, you look at AEW and you look at WWE, it's like the tale of two tapes, right? When I say that they're the alternative, right? When focusing on AEW, talking about WWE, they really are in the worst ways possible, right? Whereas you have AEW, who just takes things way too far and they bastardize every single fucking concept, where it doesn't really mean anything anymore once you get to a point where you can actually use said stipulation, use said rhetoric, and whatever you're trying to build up. It's like WWE is the complete opposite, right, on the spectrum, where it's like they never, in my opinion, do too much. You know what I mean? AEW does way too much and WWE does way too little. Again, my whole problem with the Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens feud this entire time is that, like, I just don't feel the intensity is there. Now, granted, they've been having a long rivalry, but let's just hypothetically say this was universe mode, right? This would be similar to like doing universe mode and then you set up a rivalry and you put it on long rivalry, right? But you end up putting it on something like I forgot how it's supposed to be titled, right? It's supposed to be like, you know, you have the very harsh, I forgot what it's called, very harsh or very high, and then you have the red that's very high, then you have the orange, which is very, you know, somewhat high, then you have the medium one in the yellow, then you have the I don't know, short or whatever the hell you want to call it in the green. They're the green. You know, they're the green right now. It's a long rivalry and it's in the green. I wish they would kind of, you know, get a little bit more intensity built up into this feud, man. It's just too many small things being done, you know, whether it's like the actual attacks. I don't really feel like that they're attacks. It just feels like something that they're doing just for the sake of continuing something. Like, you know, Kevin would punch Cody in the face, or, you know, and you can kind of blame this on AEW a little bit as far as completely killing every spot to mean absolutely nothing, because in reality a package power driver should mean something, especially coming from Kevin Owens and his history. But you see stuff like that in AEW for transitional spots. Hell, you got guys doing tombstones off of aprons to fucking still steps, that it just kills the overall aesthetic, right, surrounding the actual movement itself, and it doesn't really feel like it hit as much. You know what I mean? Maybe that doesn't bother people who don't watch AEW, but me, as a guy who does watch AEW, it does bother me a little tiny bit. I just wish they would just like go a little bit stronger, go a little bit harder, because it can come off as a little bit boring sometimes. Whereas AEW comes off as patently fucking absurd most of the times, WWE comes off as sometimes being very, very boring, right? And it's things like this, for an example. This entire feud, for the most part, they get inside the ring, and you know, you have Shawn Michaels gets a nice little pop. They're in San Antonio, right? Keep that in mind, by the way. They're in San Antonio. Keep that in mind. Kevin, you know, comes out first. He's standing in the ring, and you know, he's being a heel. You know, you have the crowd who's trying to touch him and try to get his attention, and he has security guards walking behind him, and he's acting like a heel. Okay, good shit. Cody comes out, does his whole little fireworks, you know, entrance, goes on top of the ladder and gets fireworks in the background. Okay, good shit. I like the presentation, right? They get in the ring. Cody immediately signs the contract after Shawn Michaels states that he's just here to do just that, get them to sign the contract. Like I said, Cody signs it, and then Kevin Owens, he kind of procrastinates, right? He gets on the microphone. He tries to talk to Cody Rhodes, say that, hey, you left. All the same drivel you hear talk about with CM Punk, which even the rhetoric gets a little bit boring, right? Again, MJF goes way too far and it comes off as absurd. Kevin Owens, you kind of say the same repetitive shit we've already heard from Seth Rollins when talking about CM Punk, right? Or CM Punk talking about The Rock, or John Cena talking about The Rock. We get it. A wrestler leaving a company and doing other things to build up a name for themselves is fucking terrible to you guys who sound like you're jealous, according to Shawn Michaels, which does fit the character, and I like that aspect a little tiny bit. But the rhetoric, it gets kind of complacent and it does get kind of boring, right? Cody tells him to shut the fuck up and sign the contract. Kevin, once again, procrastinates even more. He talks about how when he actually beats Cody Rhodes, he's going to be able to get everything that Cody Rhodes has, right? And then when Shawn Michaels interjects before Kevin can sign the contract, like I said, he calls Kevin jealous. Kevin looks at Shawn Michaels and he says the same shit that you hear all the fucking time that you've been here for 30 years now. Shawn Michaels lost his smile, blah, blah, blah. You're calling me jealous, blah, blah, blah. 1996 run is overrated. I'm going to bring, you know, actual prestige to this championship. Just the same fucking drivel you hear all the time. That's another boring part about the promo in itself, right? I wish they can just up it a little tiny bit. Eventually, Kevin Owens ends up signing the contract. He drops it on the floor, picks it up. He aggressively hands it off to Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels makes it known that, okay, the match is set. They're leaving the ring. Kevin tries to go for a cheap shot on Cody Rhodes. He actually hits Cody in the face, kind of disorients him a little tiny bit. Shawn pushes Kevin Owens back from Cody. Kevin sneaks attacks Shawn, tries to hit him with the package power driver. Mind you, before all this even occurred, they hung the belts up because Shawn asked for a referee to come up inside the ring, and they hung the belts up on the rafters, right? Kevin Owens, like I said, all this occurs. He attempts a package power driver on Shawn Michaels. Cody super kicks Kevin Owens, which sets Shawn Michaels up to hit the sweet chin music to get the, feel good stuff to end the segment, right? And like I said, all the stuff being somewhat boring, okay, it is what it is. But the illogical stuff that was happening during this segment, say I'm nitpicking all you want to, but it is occurring, right? Like, for an example, as I said, they're in San Antonio, right? The Royal Rumble's in Indianapolis. I get the whole thing where it's supposed to be a signifier, right? It's supposed to be symbolism. But why are you hanging the belts up on the rafter? They're hanging it. Is it going to stay there? Like, what, are you going to fucking teleport the arena all the way up to Indianapolis? Like, just hand the belts off to the referee to be hung up on the roof in a later date. Like, that's all you had to do. What was the point of doing that? And then Cody Rhodes doing the sweet chin music, which is a super kick, right? Why would you do that just to set up for Shawn Michaels to do the super kick, right? You kind of take away the heat from Shawn Michaels doing the sweet chin music a little tiny bit. You could have just punched him in the face. What was the necessity to hit a super kick? Especially when that's not something that's really regular in Cody Rhodes' repertoire. But like I said, man, it is what it is. They got the job done. Did I like the contract signing? Not really. I mean, again, I'm not really feeling. I'm pretty sure the match in itself is gonna kill it. I just feel like this is lacking way more heat than is actually necessary for me to want to be actually glued into what's going on currently at the moment. But again, that's just me. If you like this segment, good for you. But coming up next, we have another match I'm actually looking forward to, okay? We got ourselves a Fatu versus Braun Strowman one-on-one monster versus monster match. The matches tonight have been pretty good. But like I said, again, we still have the main event to get to. I'm pretty sure this match isn't going to have any angles attached to it. I really hope that whatever we get coming out of the main event, really just reiterating that one more time, I hope we get an angle coming out of it. That's all I'm asking for. That's all I'm hoping for. Give us an angle coming out of the show tonight. All right, but with that being said, Fatu, Braun Strowman, let's get it. Now that's how it's fucking done, boys. That's how that shit's fucking done, bro. Fatu fucking destroyed Braun Strowman. That's the best shit that happened so far tonight. That shit was hard as fuck. All that shit was hard as fuck, bro. Fatu versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. That's got to be the match. That's definitely going to be the match. And if he's going to be in the Royal Rumble, bro, you got to let him kill it. You got to let him kill it. Don't just loosen up on the momentum, bro. I'm telling you right now, man. Braun Breaker and Fatu, those are your two stars in the future, bro. That shit was hard. All that was fucking lit as fuck, man. So as I said, you had Fatu and Braun Strowman. They get in the ring, right? Jacob cut a promo before he actually got out to the ring. I didn't hear what he was saying because I was actually recording the last segment while he was coming out to the ring. But they had their match, and the match in itself is whatever. Although I did find it funny. Fatu, I guess after one of the bill attacks, right? Because Braun Strowman, he threw him halfway across the ring with a bill, right? And I guess I don't know, Jacob didn't notice the camera directly in front of him. The censors did not catch him going shit when he was, and it's not, and you guys may say to yourself, oh, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal to me and you. And quite frankly, it probably wouldn't be that big of a deal if it was like on cable television or whatever, or like on pay-per-view. I think it's a big deal to just let out a cursing word or a swear word. I don't know how big of a deal it is nowadays, but it was a pretty big deal back in the days to just let people swear on broadcast television. So cable, it wasn't that big of a deal. It is, but it isn't. But broadcast, it's a pretty big deal. Or at least it was back then. I'm not sure how lenient they are nowadays. But he did let out a clear shit when he was selling one of the attacks from Braun Strowman. But it got to a point where Braun, he was hitting the little choo-choo train shit that he does all the time. He did it on Jacob a few times, right? By like the third or fourth time, Jacob caught him with a Samoan drop on top of the announcement table, right? Then he throws him in the ring and he sets him up in the corner, and he had to hit him with like 8 to 10 hip attacks in the corner, just back and forth, 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 So it got to the point where the referee had to intervene, and then Jacob just threw him out of the ring, which cost a disqualification, right? He did it a few more times before he went outside the ring to go get a chair. You can see Braun Strowman, he's like bleeding from the mouth. I don't know if he's bleeding from the nose or bleeding from the mouth, but clearly he's gushing blood. He is gushing blood somewhere. Like, I don't know if they're trying to sell it as an internal thing or if he legitimately hit him a little bit too snug and caught him in the nose and broke his nose. I think it was internal bleeding though, or at least they were trying to sell it that way because Michael kept mentioning blood. I don't think they would just go out of their way to mention it like that if it wasn't just a sell job, because he was saying it a couple of times. And then afterwards, he hit the BME, right? The best moonsault ever. Christopher Daniels' old finisher. He did that a couple times, like over and over. Kind of similar to how Bronson Reed did it to Seth Rollins, but even more crazier because, like, again, Braun is just gushing blood all over the place out of his mouth. And the security guards are trying to stop him. It got to a point where he picked up the chair he threw in the ring. He just fucking lawn darted at one of the security guards and he took the head off of one of the other security guards. And he was just attacking all the security guards, trying to beat the fuck out of Braun Strowman to the point where you had Tongaloa come out, or Tama Tonga come out to try to stop him. He's still doing more damage to Braun Strowman with more BMEs. It's just craziness, bro. It's fucking chaotic. He just absolutely destroyed Braun Strowman. Jacob is just he's such a star, bro. He's a star. He's great on. He can cut from what I can tell, he's good on the microphone, right? Has a solid character behind him, has a certain aura behind him. The fans, it was kind of lame, and I hate that. And it has nothing to do with Jacob Fatu. It's just the era that we live in nowadays, where you have like people chanting Fatu's name. I mean, he is a heel. I mean, maybe, but you know, build up a better babyface so people can actually react in a better way, right? But it is what it is, you know. They had to play his music to get him out of the ring, bruh. All that shit was lit. He's such a star. He's great in the ring. That no-handed suicide dive he did also was a thing of beauty. They showed a replay of it from a different camera angle, and you can see him clear as day, no-handing a suicide dive. He's incredibly athletic. He's so fucking good. He's so fucking good, bro. So good. Hey, look, Arn Anderson. Oh, they're showing some more of the Hall of Famers. Let me see who else they're going to show. Oh, Tully Blanchard's right there, too. Tully and Arn are one of the chant. He raised the racist. He raised the racist. Any more Hall of Famers? Oh, no, we're good. But yeah, that was a dope ass segment. Hopefully we get more of that coming from Jacob Fatu. That's how you build a star. You know what I mean? Man, it's like an updated Umaga, bro. It's crazy. I know that's his uncle and everything, but man, he represents Umaga more than his own son does. Good shit, though. Hopefully we get that Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu match. And still in the future, in about a year or two, crossing my fingers, still hoping for that inevitable Jacob Fatu and Braun Breaker match. But with that being said, coming up next, they got Jesse Ventura and the Joe, what's that guy's name again? Joe Tessa Tori or some shit like that. They got them recapping the night from what it looks like. But coming up next, we got Gunther versus Jey Uso. Again, third time mentioning it. Hopefully we get an angle out of that. I'm not sure if we will. I think it's just going to be a straight up match. It is what it is, though. At least we got something out of tonight. That segment was awesome. That was fucking awesome. I mean, once again, the match in itself, I dug the match. I liked everything in regards building up to the finish, the presentation, as I said beforehand. I feel kind of like, again, the one thing that I asked for coming out of all this is that, like, you have some kind of cliffhanger going into Monday Night Raw. I mean, essentially, this is, for all intents and purposes, to build up to the Royal Rumble, right? It's not your go-home show, obviously. That's going to be Raw and SmackDown coming up this week. But, you know, there should be some kind of big angle, something happening backstage, something going off the air that gets you to want to tune into these shows to watch. Okay, well, this is the next page in this chapter while we're getting up to the last page of this chapter, which is going to be the Royal Rumble. And I don't feel like we got that tonight, man. That's my only thing. Like, as good as the Jacob Fatu and Braun Strowman angle was, and it was fucking excellent in my opinion, I feel like that should have probably been done to, not that as far as the actions in itself, but the effort that should have been done for a match to build up into the pay-per-view coming up next Saturday. And, you know, don't get it twisted. The card for the Royal Rumble, I like it. You know, I like it. You got 2 Royal Rumble matches, which is always going to be a good thing. The surprises in themselves, it's kind of hard to fuck up a Royal Rumble match, right? I mean, they've done it in the past, but it is hard nonetheless. You got a ladder match. You know, I think the last time, I could be wrong about this off the top of my noodle, the last time we've had a ladder match at the Royal Rumble, shit, was it Jericho and Benoit for the IC title? Damn, I could be wrong, but damn, was it Jericho and Benoit for the IC title? Was that the last time we had an Intercontinental Championship at the Royal Rumble? So, I mean, if that happens to be the case, then, hey, you got a good track record fucking with me. That's my favorite match of all time. So, hey, you're on a good track. And, you know, you got a 2 out of 3 falls match. You know, you got Motor City Machine Guns taking on DIY, you know, for the marks out there. So, the pay-per-view in itself looks like it's going to be fun. But, like, the angles and the stuff, you know, how can I put this? That should be for the pay-per-views. You know, the lack of an angle. Now, don't get it twisted. Doing an angle is never going to be a bad thing, ever, right? But if you're not going to do an angle, that should be for the pay-per-views. If you're dealing with something that's a little bit more grandiose, right? Because that's the blow-off, typically, right? Unless you're planning on continuing that feud. Whenever you're doing a regular show, whenever you're doing a special even, that should be building up for nothing else, if not the pay-per-view. It should be building up to get you to want to tune in to the shows that theoretically will continue building up said show for the pay-per-view. That's how it used to be back in the days. And like I said, Gunther and Jay, they went out there. Those last 5 minutes, I very much enjoyed. When they came back from the last commercial breaks, I fucked with all that, right? The Frankensteiner spots, the Hope spots for Jey Uso, especially the spear going into the, you know, the Uso splash. All that was great, right? I liked the finish a lot. You know, Jay tried to go for another spear. Gunther intercepted him, hit him with a powerbomb, flipped him back around, hit him with another powerbomb, and then got a stack on him. I like that. He retained the world championship, not as if we weren't expecting that. All that was great, but I would have really liked it if you would have probably, and I know people are going to probably be like, well, Devontae, there's not really much you can get out of an angle when fucking with Gunther and Jay, because this is the actual current feud, right? There is nothing in regards to Gunther, there is nothing in regards to Jay that is worth building up to when going to the Royal Rumble, because, I mean, what is there, right? They have nothing going on going into the Royal Rumble for an angle to be built up. Hence why, and some may disagree with me, some may agree with me. I know some people may say to themselves that, oh, you know, you want to keep the world champions on like equal footing. Yeah, I understand, I get that, but like in this case, maybe you should have main evented Cody and Kevin, and then give it something a little bit more substantial. You know, that's what I would have done. Maybe the Gunther and, you know, the Gunther and Jey Uso match should have been the penultimate, right? That should have been the second before last, and Cody and Kevin should have done something, and they should have done something crazy. You know, maybe Kevin should have hit the package power driver on Shawn Michaels. Maybe that should have been the case. Maybe Cody could have been checking on Shawn Michaels, and they would have went off the air with Shawn being carted off. Something along the lines of that. What would have actually hurt, right? Nothing. It would have hurt nothing. But that would have been an angle. Going off the air, it would have gave more motivation. It would have been more even it would have been motivation for the characters of Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens, and it would have been an incentive for the fan that wanted to tune in to SmackDown, right? Not to mention Gunther and Jey Uso, that being the penultimate, and Gunther beating Jey Uso, that's somewhat of a cliffhanger, but not enough to want to main event the show with, because you want something substantial coming out of the end of the show. Am I making any sense here? Right? I'm not shitting on the match. I'm shitting on the structure. And I'm not even shitting on the structure of the match in itself. I'm shitting more so on the flow of the booking as far as coming out of the show. I just want you guys to remember that you're watching a television show. In the end of the day, no matter what you want to say, oh, it's pro wrestling, this, that, and the third, you are still watching a wrestling show. A wrestling show. Keyword, show. And I know whenever you watch a television show, especially an episodic television show, you know where I'm going with this, the Dragon Ball Z metaphors, you know, you typically want to see the next episode because of what developed in this episode. And I don't feel like we got that out of the Saturday Night's main event. Now, don't get it twisted. It wasn't a bad show necessarily, right? You got some killer matches, right? More competent matches. The presentation. I love the stage. I love how it's different from the other shows, right? It was better than the first Saturday Night's main event a month ago. I will say that's a good thing. But at the same time though, again, just give me something substantial to sink my teeth into while we're building up to the Royal Rumble. Once again, we are dealing with an episodic television show, so treat it like an episodic television show. Now, I do want to see what's going to happen with Jacob Fatu going into SmackDown, but that's just a personal preference based off the angle that they done tonight. I would like to see something where everybody in the wrestling world is talking within the IWC, if for nothing else, getting us to want to tune in to SmackDown, tune in to Raw. Like, is that bad to ask? Is that bad to ask? But like I said, solid match. Would have liked it a lot more if we had something more substantial coming out of it, but it is what it is. It was a better show than last month. That I can actually say. And now comes the time where I ask for your opinion in regards to how you felt about the show. Did you like it? What were the bad things about it, the negatives about it, the positives about it, the goods about it? Or you're going to dick ride it, or you're going to shit directly all over it? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. You know my thoughts. Kind of a mixed bag, more positive than bad, but at the same time, the bad is glaring and it should not go unnoticed. The Royal Rumble is next week though, so hopefully, we get there and we have a killer show. But with that being said, as always, my name is Devontae, and I'll be catching you guys later. A deuces and a P ice.